Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. I really appreciate you taking our time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it, so thank you in advance. Jumping back to the Dreamcast, because the Dreamcast has so many really cool games and nobody really cares, but that's why we're here to do this list, to give these games that type of, thanks and praise in my own way. So another Dreamcast game, another game made by Capcom, Cannon Spike. Now, of course, the Dreamcast basically being a way to transfer all of the arcade games to console would be a perfect place for Cannon Spike. For those of you who do not know it, Cannon Spike is a shoot 'em up game that is by Capcom, because Capcom made pretty much 50% of the Dreamcast library. And it is simple, it is fun, it is straight to the point. The cast is really cool because it's part Capcom people and then people that you know, and some brand new ones. So we have first start off just what you can see on the screen, right? You get Charlie, Arthur, Sheba, Cammy, and Simone. Charlie and Cammy, from Street Fighter. Arthur, I'm assuming, is from Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, whatever you want to call it, but maybe not. And then on top of that, you also get Mega Man and BB Hood as playable characters. And the game is single player or two players. Now, the one thing they do that's kind of cheap is for two players, right? So you get 3 credits to start. But if you decide to have a second person join you, they have to use one of your starting credits. So you now are starting with 2 credits instead of 3. I know that seems kind of like, oh, that's not a big deal. No, it's a big deal. I need those credits. I'm not getting through the game without it, which in these playthroughs, I didn't get through the game. I've gotten through the game before. Don't try to treat me like that. But just going back to play it, we were trying to have fun. We were trying to get some good footage for you. So we weren't necessarily focused on beating the game. But anywho, the stages are randomized based on who you pick. So they're the same up until I believe the 8th stage, where it goes they're random until the 8th stage, and then it goes until, basically the story mode. But then, each of the stages you start off, there's a certain set of enemies, usually to get your life back if you can avoid getting hit. And then you get to a mid boss, and then you go to an actual boss. And each of the bosses have their own little strategies. The game is cool because you have long range attacks, plus you have melee attacks. And the melee attacks basically go into a combo. You can basically do your weak version and then go into your strong version right after. The strong long range attacks usually are something that can hit multiple enemies, or it goes through a bunch of enemies, something to kind of get them back off you. Obviously they don't fire as fast as your quick attacks or your quick range, so you got to balance it out. Sometimes I do the game of attrition, where it's can I beat the boss before it beats me type of thing, which isn't always the best strategy, clearly, but we get it done. But the game is very fast. You can have a playthrough 10 minutes basically, because either you're gonna die or the computers are gonna die. But this is this is a way for the Dreamcast to just take some of that arcade magic and just give it to you right in the comfort of your home. And these were games that when the Dreamcast was first coming out, I didn't know, because I was not in arcades anymore, but the Dreamcast had this thing to where you could pretty much copy any game and just play them on a Memorex CD. So as I found out about things like that, we started to have a lot more selection of Dreamcast games, and we started realizing that in addition to the games we already knew were great, these games were fantastic as well. And again, for some of you, these games don't mean much, but for me and mine, this was a great time. The Dreamcast offered a lot of great games. Like I said, the imagining of the arcades in your home to a full degree, not just but these are actually the arcade games. It was a good time. So this is one of those games. If you are familiar with Cannon Spike, like to hear your thoughts, favorite character, did you beat it? Some good memories. And if you have not played this game and you're a fan of not only Dreamcast games, Capcom games, but shoot 'em up games, this is definitely up your alley, and I highly recommend that you try it. Either way, I appreciate you letting me take some time to reminisce with you. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe.